Off and the clock has started.
Welcome everybody to an all-new Downright Sports Super Bowl show. And it is showtime. Hello, I'm your host, Brent Reed, the sports critic, as we prepare ourselves as if we're down in Miami for the Super Bowl. If you've never seen this show before, it's a show from a sports fan that gives you a sports fan's take for the sports critic. Subscribe today, please. Now, if you've seen the show before, today's show is all different. Today's show, we're just doing NFL, Super Bowl, but we will start the show off. Oh, and we got a special guest in today's show. In segment 3, my man, the great Nathan Harris will give you his take on why the Kansas City Chiefs will be victorious after the Super Bowl coming up. 50 years now, making it. Oh, but what happened this past year? I'll tell you. The season started with a lot of hype for the Cleveland Browns, who basically had all this all-star talent. Everybody did everything but hand them the trophy this year. But like every year in seasons past, the Cleveland Browns, what they do, they disappoint. They finished 6-12, losing the entire year. In fact, their star quarterback actually had a worse year than he did his rookie year, being more exposed. A lot of their new all-star wide receiver, he didn't just complain in New York, he complained in Cleveland. Just to show you, it's not about New York, baby. It's about him. Moving on. Nick Foles left the Philadelphia Eagles, took some money and went back to Jacksonville, where only pancake houses and strippers live, apparently. But with that being said, Foles had a setback. He only played for 6 games this year, and he did not do what he could do in Philadelphia. So the Nick Foles power seems to only be when he's in the city of brotherly love. Maybe it has something to do with the Philly cheesesteaks. I'm just saying. Continuing as the season went on, we saw maybe the beginning of the fall of the Roman Empire. Is this the end for the New England Patriots? Tom Brady and the Patriots and Bill Belichick lost in the first round for the first time since the Bush administration. Bush 2, not 1. But it's not that they lost, it's how they lost. And we've seen in years past where you can always count on Tom Brady to bring him back, but he couldn't. The season ended with him throwing an interception to a pick 6 at home of all places. So the question is, will he leave New England and go play for the Los Angeles Chargers or maybe some other team? I think Tom needs to just retire and just say bye, quite frankly. And then lastly, we did see a player say bye as Eli Manning has decided to retire. Eli Manning was replaced earlier this year by Daniel Jones. I don't know him enough to care about his name, but we care about Eli because he brought the Giants 2 Super Bowls. He's the all-time leading passer for the Giants franchise, and he will be missed. And believe it or not, that kid Jones has got bigger shoes to fill than just replacing a guy who showed no emotion to throwing an interception all the time. When we come back in segment number 2, we're going to talk about the big game, the Super Bowl. The reason why I'm dressed up Miami style, baby. Rick Ross is in the room. I got Pitbull in the back. We even got Uncle Luke getting ready to get the party started. Downright Sports. Let's go, brother. Crack the feeling. Alright, so we're going to need the notes for this one, so relax, everybody. Welcome back. So, the Super Bowl will be this coming Sunday, and it's going to feature the Kansas City Chiefs versus the San Francisco 49ers. There's 2 legendary franchises, but for totally 2 different reasons. The Chiefs are legendary because they appeared in the first few Super Bowls that ever existed, not to mention the owner of the Chiefs, Lamar Hunt, created the Super Bowl to help bridge the gap to decide his then AFC was better than the NFL. It wasn't until the Jets came along, and the Jets was the first AFC team actually to win said Super Bowl. Before that, it looked like the AFC was inferior to the older NFL. But Hunt and his Chiefs would eventually win the Super Bowl in 1959. It's been 50 years since they've been there. In fact, the last time the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, it was only $12 for tickets. Now, it will be $4,000 for a pair of tickets. For the 49ers, their organization is a little more, it's historic for different reasons. Because in the 80s, Bill Walsh, whatever the coach's name is, doesn't matter. Joe Montana and his crew would just win 4 Super Bowls and just dominate the entire 80s, and not to mention win another one with Steve Young under the helm as quarterback. Now, since Steve Young and Joe Montana have gone on agreement to retire and do sketcher commercials, now you have to look at the 49ers, and they have not won a Super Bowl since the 90s. Just like the Cowboys, but unlike the Cowboys, the 49ers have been to the Super Bowl more recently than the Kansas City Chiefs. But here's the catch. They might have gone during the Obama administration, but not one player on that team that lost to the Ravens just a few years ago is still on this team. This is a brand new team coached by Kyle Shanahan, who needs to get his face back after letting a lead go away when he was the offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons against the Patriots in a Super Bowl a couple years ago, where they were up 28-3 going into the half, and then the Patriots never let them score again. How crazy! But what do we have in store? We have a team led by the Kansas City Chiefs, who have a quarterback, to me, who is the face and the future. Well, forget the future. He's the face of the NFL today. He's Michael Jordan. He's Mike Trout. He's Serena Williams. He's everything. And that is Patrick Mahomes, kids. The guy's a beast. He can run. He's Willie Beeman with a better arm, and he doesn't complain nor show his jockstrap on TV. Thank God for that. The movie was very scarring. Yeah. Anyways, when you take a look at these teams and you look at their makeups, they've gotten here in two totally different ways. The Kansas City Chiefs have gotten to the Super Bowl based on their offense and then turned the defense on come playoff time, something that they're not notorious for doing. You look at the 49ers, they've gotten here playing defense. They've asked Jimmy Garoppolo to not break the team pretty much. They've turned Jimmy Garoppolo into early days Tom Brady 2.0. Dink and dunk, get us down the field, we'll take care of the rest. And we'll make sure that as long as you don't lose us the game, we can win this. Which is a very good philosophy, which makes me scared that they could beat the Kansas City Chiefs, a team I'm rooting for, which we'll touch on in a second. Now, these teams are matched in so many different ways. If you look at the 49ers this past year, they're 4th in offense, 2nd in rushing, 8th in defense, 1st in passing defense. We'll touch on why that's important. 13 in passing offense, 8th in scoring, 4th in conversions, meaning every third down, they just get another first. You can't stop them when it comes to the third downs. 10th in drives, which is important. That means they control the ball a lot, which for the Kansas City Chiefs is important for their defense because they get you tired and get you winded. So if you're the 49ers, you keep the ball a lot, and that means you keep the Chiefs defense on the field and keeping Patrick Mahomes off the field, something the Chiefs have to look into if they want to win. 17th in rushing defense, 8th in scoring defense, 2nd when it comes to stopping you on third down, which is crazy because you got the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, who can move. You got Casey, who's the best tight end in the game right now, which you can just give him the rock and see what happens. And then you have Tyreek Hill, who is also a fantastic. So you got all these weapons, and according to the numbers, the 49ers may be able to just stop these guys. And then finally, if you look at what they have done all year, Jimmy Garoppolo has had an average season. He's 27 touchdowns, 13 receptions. He's 27th in passing. They don't need a whole lot. They don't have a crazy run game. Their offense is not a who's who of offensive players. Their defense is as you can see, is what makes up this team. And with Richard Sherman in that backfield, he knows a little something about defenses in the Super Bowl. I can tell you that. For the Kansas City Chiefs, it's a little different. They're all over the place. 7th in defense, 8th in passing, 26th in rushing, which is important because you got to be able to stop this rushing game. With a team that doesn't have a quarterback that throws it a lot, that means they're going to rush the ball a lot. Now, with that being said, everybody thought Henry for the Titans was just going to run through the Kansas City Chiefs, but they didn't. They came with a game plan and they made a stop because Andy Reid has been around the block long enough to know what to do. And that's what's going to be interesting. The alarm's getting ready to go off. That's what's going to be interesting is that Ken the veteran, who's been to the Super Bowl as a head coach, been to the Super Bowl only as a coordinator, but both have lost. So now both are trying to get their faces back. Andy Reid, this time had Donovan McNabb the first time. This time around, he's got an MVP. This time, you got to look at the way the team is structured. I think if they get LaShawn McCoy, who was sick apparently, if he plays, he could be the difference maker that this team is looking for. Because LaShawn McCoy fits an Andy Reid's scheme of defense. A lot of screen passes, a lot of catches up the backfield for the halfback, and that's important because now it gives Patrick Mahomes another weapon to go to. When we break down and we take a look, the Vegas odds right now are telling us that the Chiefs are the favorite by a point, which is kind of crazy because most NFL games don't finish by a point. I like the Chiefs in this game. I think the Chiefs, with last year and the two, being behind them, and last year probably being the year they thought they were going to win it, I think this year they feel like they got it. The momentum's there. They got it in the palm of their hands, and they want to win one for Andy. San Francisco will be back. As long as they don't break this team up, they'll be back. I like the Chiefs to win this at least by 10, making a statement. It's a good game, great offensive game, but Chiefs defense shows up. They put the pressure on Jimmy Garoppolo. They make him be the guy to try to win the game because he has not. The only once this year Garoppolo had to try to win the game, that was against the Saints, which we all know when you play in New Orleans, strange things happen down there in that bayou. But now you're going to have a Chiefs team that just proven that when they want to, they can turn that defense up. Not to mention, they've also proven in the playoffs so far, they can spot you 16 points and come back and win. They put the pressure on Garoppolo, something he hasn't faced all year, and the Chiefs will win. I'm giving them 10 points, which makes me look like a genius if it does happen. Yay! When we come back, segment number 3, little special guest, Nathan Harris, our residential Chief expert, will touch on why he feels the Chiefs have the edge on winning the Super Bowl. Downright Sports, Miami style. Miami style. Miami style. So I hope you got your sunscreen and everything ready, guys. I hope you got your Speedo ready, man. We down in Miami, man. Now, what we're gonna do is right now I'm gonna take a little break from being the guy that gives you all the facts, and we're gonna give it to our residential Kansas City guy, newly found Atlanta Hawks fan, Nathan Harris, as he tells you why he feels the Kansas City Chiefs are the favorite to win the Super Bowl. Nathan, take it away.
So I've got the Chiefs winning this game by 7, maybe like, I don't know, 31-24, something like that. I think it's going to be, I'll go up. I'll go 30, 38-31, somewhere in that area. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. It's got to be with Patrick Mahomes as a quarterback. And I think that the Chiefs are going to get out. They're going to get a good start, and the 49ers aren't going to be able to rely on the running game. They're going to have to make Garoppolo throw the ball, and Garoppolo's already showed us against the Saints that he can throw the ball and he can make plays that he needs to make a high-scoring game and win a high-scoring game. But at the end of the day, I mean, whenever you get into that sort of quarterback matchup, it's just too much of a mismatch. I mean, you can't really argue that Jimmy Garoppolo is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes. He's just not. So that's my prediction, 38-31. Patrick Mahomes and the offensive line hold up and are able to pick apart the 49ers zone defense or man defense or whatever they're going to run. And you're going to have the first Chiefs Super Bowl in 50 years. So I hope I'm right. See you guys.
Appreciate that, Nate. Thank you so much. Nate has helped me out before on the shows and some other stuff. Nate, hopefully we can one day we get in the studio and work together. And we had different plans if Green Bay would have made it, and we would have had a debate show. The show was going to be a lot different. I was going to be as silly. Anyway, the halftime show is important. It's the most important thing to the Super Bowl. It's not the game itself. It's who's performing the halftime show. Well, it's Super Bowl 54, and it's only appropriate that the newly 50-year-old Jennifer Lopez spices it up down in Miami. Now, J-Lo might not be my first pick. I probably won't pick him. He'll probably end up showing up. I mean, he's 305. Or the NFL for the last few years has dropped the ball. In Atlanta, they didn't get Outkast. They didn't get Ludacris. They didn't get Jermaine Dupri. They didn't get anybody that resonates with them. They didn't get Lil Jon. These are people that resonate with the area. In New York, they didn't get Jay-Z. They didn't get Bruce Springsteen. They didn't get Bon Jovi. They don't get people that resonate with the area. Here you got Miami. Could have had Rick Ross. You could have had Pitbull. You could have had a handful of Miami artists. Heck, you could have had Gloria Estefan. You went with J-Lo. I don't know her catalog. Hopefully it should be fun. Demi Lovato's going to do the national anthem. And still, to me, the best Super Bowl halftime show will always be Prince. A few years ago, Bruno Mars is pretty good, but he can't do it every year. And Katy Perry was a little out there. Lady Gaga was really good. And I think hers was underappreciated. Hers was really, really good. But there's so many great artists out there you could have gotten. I know you're trying to be hip. Jennifer Lopez, I don't know, was hip. She's not even a demographic. You know, but demographic is she really A-Rods, quite frankly. But hopefully next year they will pick somebody. They should come to me. Not to mention, I thought Rock Nation and Jay-Z was going to be picking the halftime shows. And this is what you came out with, Jay? Really? You're dropping the ball, my G. You're dropping the ball. Anyways, thank you all for watching. This has been fun. I liked dressing up. And the sign is much appreciated. Thank you, Allie, for trying. She was up all night. She couldn't finish it. She's not sleepy. You know, people have other jobs or things to do. She ran out of marker or whatever she paid. This is authentic, you know, and the Miami flavor. As for me, Downright Sports, we'll be gone for about a week, 2 weeks, and we'll be back. New shows. We'll be back around time for the All-Star game, which is going to be fun. We'll touch on that. We're also going to do a special show for Wilder Tyson Fury fight, so that one also should be fun too. So thank you all for watching. Subscribe at the bottom. Hit me up at Twitter, and then hit me up at Instagram. And then leave a comment and enjoy. And enjoy the Super Bowl. Get your chips, get your popcorn, and get your drink ready. Make sure you get your beer. As for me, I'm gonna make it on my dating, right? No. Pina colada. That's what we're doing. Maybe a pina colada. Let's get it going.